Hey, Jacob, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. Now, before I get started, finally, I'm able to catch a stream. It's been so broke for me, like notifications and stuff like that. Yeah, YouTube needs to fix that. It's really, really, really finicky. But to everyone present, I need to grab a drink real quick, and then we'll get started. So give me 1 quick second. It's not going to take long. I already know what I'm going to drink. It won't take me long to get it. Let me grab it, and then I'll get into the gameplay. And then I'll be able to start and speak on what my thoughts are for the beta, because today is the last day that people who have pre-ordered on PlayStation can play the beta, so I can give my 2 cents on it and let you guys know how I feel about the game as a whole and the overall product of the beta. I know there's a lot more to the game than what it actually shows, but yeah, I'll get into it. Just let me get my drink real quick. I'll be right back, Jacob. Haven't been able to click on your videos, but I've had Twitter notifications. Huh, that's kind of odd. Alright, so I got what I wanted. Water, because it's good for you. Hey, Psycho! What is going on? Alright, firstly, let's go ahead and get all the pleasantries and highs out of the way from me. Hey, everybody. Glad that I could catch you today. Thank you all for supporting this channel for as long as you have. Good to see you, CJ, as well. Skrillex4x! The biggest thing this game nails is the characters. They feel so good to do stuff with. Here's the thing, Skrillex. And while I play, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what I feel the game can greatly improve on. There's a number of things that I've pretty much brought to people's attention
agents in the field have identified
already.
The location of an AIM data vault.
But overall,
contains
I mean,
research on
I'm
new
going to
combat
play this
synthroids
game when it releases.
needs
I'm
to be
going to get it.
destroyed.
But I feel like
Get in there,
there are
take out
still
the
some
server
things that they can
vault,
improve
and
on.
get out before AIM reinforces
And
the facility.
clearly, the dev team have been paying attention to some people's feedbacks. Like, there's this one moment, I forget who it was. Someone was playing as Iron Man. They brought in their Hulkbuster, and I guess when you bring in the Hulkbuster, not just Iron Man can use it. Apparently, other characters can jump inside of the Hulkbuster and use it, including the Hulk, which is kind of odd. So, yeah. And apparently, that's a feature that they're not taking out. Apparently, that was intentional. Apparently, that was intentional, and that's a feature that's staying in. But let me go ahead and just speak on this game as a whole. I enjoy it, but there are some things that I wish that they can improve on. Namely, like playing as a Hulk, I feel like it should be a little bit better. I feel like characters shouldn't necessarily just all have the same level of strength, regardless of the level. I feel like Hulk should have the best physical strength out of all of them and should not be taking more than, you know, a couple of hits to take down just like regular mook enemies, like regular guys. I feel like the Hulk should be able to do the most damage out of everyone. That'll help, you know, people differentiate who's a big damage dealer, who's a big person who's tanking, and who has the best range damage. Sure, you can build yourself towards that way, but out of all the characters, Hulk has the least reliable ability on keeping his health up. Whereas, you know, Iron Man and and Kamala Khan and Black Widow have skills that accentuate upon each other, you really have to put, like, for example, this is a quick mission. This is a quick sabotage mission, so it's not going to take me long to get through this. But Hulk's rage skill, I feel like the skill as a whole, that is your only way of regaining health in combat. Now, you regain it whenever you're hitting enemies while it is active. But outside of it, you don't really regenerate much health. Like right here, I'm standing here still, and you have basic regular health regeneration, but it is lower than that when you use up your rage meter at the top. And rage drains kind of quickly, so you can't just automatically rely on that to keep your health up at all times. Because, say for example, you defeat all enemies, but you're low on health, and there's none of those like little health stations nearby. You're out of luck on healing yourself, because you can't heal without those barrels that give you like the little nodes to heal yourself, and you need enemies in order to hit them while using rage to heal yourself. So you could be walking into a boss battle with very low health, and heaven forbid you play it on the hardest difficulty, because then you are very capable of getting one-shotted. Here's one thing. This game's matchmaking, specifically the beta's matchmaking, it's broken. It is really not reliable. It is not reliable at all. I can count how many times I was able to play in a match with somebody and last all the way until the end. One, now that I think about it. 3 is the amount of matches I was able to actually get in and play with people who were not computer characters. I think only 1 match was I able to play with a person and actually succeed without them being kicked out because the server said like, hey, you're not here, and you lost a connection, and now you're playing offline. I think I've only played like 1 mission where I was able to actually play with somebody and we actually got through an entire mission without any like network hiccups. So that's definitely something that they need to improve on for the next beta.
That turbine is finished.
So they have until this upcoming Friday through Sunday to improve on what the feedback of all the players who have been playing in PlayStation for the people in Xbox, because I feel like for everyone else when they start playing, there's going to probably be a lot of people complaining, because I hear it all the time. I see it all the time on Twitter. People telling the Avengers team that, hey, matchmaking isn't working, and then they give you like these little tidbits on how to, get it working all the way. But it's just that whenever I get into a multiplayer match and I try to make one, I either have people join in, but it always leaves that 1 space or 2 spaces empty and no one shows up. And even when you try and launch the mission, it tells you, hey, there's someone still trying to join in, and there's no way you can get out of that unless you disable matchmaking, leave the fire team, and then do the mission by yourself. And Invisible Hulk punching people. But you see there, using rage heals me. Like, I feel like Hulk gets staggered way too often. He gets staggered way too often. Even by enemies that are smaller than he is. Now, mind you, this is my review. I'm not saying that the game is horrible or anything. I quite enjoy it. One of the things I really like for them to improve is Hulk's jumping. When you're out in the open environment, not inside. Inside, I can understand his jumps being that small. But when you're out in an open environment, they really need to let Hulk just open up and just launch himself. Like, seriously. Now, mind you, it doesn't give us access to everyone's skills, so I'd imagine that there's multiple ways for people to get around and improve on like combat and as far as traversals, because Black Widow has a skill Black Widow has a skill that makes it so that when she uses her zip line, it pulls her in faster, allowing her to travel a further distance. So I would imagine that there's an ability for Hulk that will allow you to jump farther. Hold on. Wow, that didn't smash that?
The generator is no longer functional.
But I would greatly improve Hulk's survivability and his ability to resist damage, because he is getting knocked around by enemies in this game that you would think Hulk is not capable of being pushed around by. Like even small enemies that are like half his size, if they charge up an attack and smack you and you're not using rage, because I feel like rage makes you a little bit tankier, they can just straight up interrupt you. Hulk should be the last person to get interrupted when he's about to smash something. But I feel like they need to improve that. Maybe there's a passive skill in his secondary trees, because we only get access to that thunderclap had poor range just then. Exactly. I was literally in an area where it would normally hit people further out, but for some odd reason, it chose not to let me hit that objective. I don't know if it doesn't register using a super attack as a method to get rid of the objective, but that's something they need to improve on as well. So ISO here, increase charge rate of heroic assault ability. Don't care about that. All I care about is increasing the melee rating and defense rating, because that's how I'm going to be building Hulk when this game releases. Straight melee and defenses. I'm not too big on heroics and everything, as long, because it doesn't really matter if I get killed before I can even use my heroic ability. So using these for the Hulk, at least for me personally, I am just going to be going for straight melee and straight defense, because that is what the Hulk is. He's just straight power and straight tank. That's what he is. But for me, I'm probably going to build him that way. Now, some people don't like the way that this upgrade system is. I don't mind it. It's not too much. I mean, we've seen so much more stuff like in our faces. Like a lot of people said, like too many numbers you have to register, too many things you have to sync up in order to get synergies and stuff like that. It's just so much extra, so many numbers in your face. And I'm thinking, well, you didn't hear anybody complain from Marvel Heroes Omega when the exact same thing was there, and they had dozens of other ways to customize your character beyond what we see here. So this is tame in comparison to other Marvel games that have been out there. But I would greatly improve Hulk's survivability and his ability to do damage and tank damage, because let me get back to it. I played in a multiplayer match, the villain sector, to tame a Titan. I played with a person who had a power level higher than me, and they brought in their characters. Don't know how that happened, but that's what happened. And somehow the game decided to double its enemy level scaling in comparison to us. I saw people that were like 40s and 49s in that stage, and they were one-shotting me as Hulk. I don't know. And the thing is, I set it to the first difficulty level just to see if I could pull someone there. Somehow it registered that I was on a much higher difficulty than I should have been, even though I picked the lower one. All the enemies were like massively buffed, and it wasn't until the game just decided to kick the person I was with out during the very last boss battle that the damage started to rescale a little bit downwards a little bit. But it was crazy how that all happened. But as you notice, we only have access to our primary skills, so I would like to think that our secondary and ultimate tabs will allow us to enhance Hulk even further. Because what we have here, this is a pretty good amount of stuff to start with, and it can carry you a nice long way. When I was leveling Hulk, I probably should have maxed out everything in his rage tree, because this ability here, Unbearable Might, increases all damage while rage is overcharged by 20%. I should have got that skill, because that would have helped me a lot in other fights. But Hulk, he needs improvement. He needs to be a little bit tankier, have a little bit more defense, or ways to make it so that when you're using rage, you take less damage. I don't know, does it actually say you take less damage when you're using rage? Defensive strength is increased. Yes, so you take less damage. and all attacks inflict increased damage by 15 and recover willpower. So you get you get more defense when you use rage, and your attacks increase, and you recover health while you punch. I still feel it's a bit of a detriment when you're punching people and then you run out of enemies and you still need to heal, but there's no way for you to heal, even if there's no, especially if there's no health pickups anywhere. So let me just go ahead and leave out here. I will say this, Iron Man and Black Widow and Kamala Khan, they play very nicely. They play very nicely. Especially Black Widow. She has some very, very good skills. And it actually works out pretty nicely for her. I seriously wonder, are we going to be rating these stages every time we finish them? Is that a feedback way for them to know, like, hey, they like this, so maybe we can improve on that or something like that? I don't know. But, this review was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. But, overall, I enjoyed this beta, but there are things that they can do to greatly improve upon it. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the Eastern Seaboard. Now, mind you, I'm setting it to Challenge 1. But as soon as I go in there... Okay, so now you want to actually work. Okay, so you won't work when I ain't in front of people, but as soon as I get in front of people, now you want to act like you know what I selected for you. So, I kind of want to show this off a little bit. I showed this off yesterday, but I was using my Elgato. Here, you guys can see my facial expressions because it's easier for me to do face cam with using my PlayStation Eye and everything.
Several SHIELD agents have been waylaid by AIM forces.
But the traversal in this game, better healing for the Hulk, as everyone seems to forget that he can heal since the last 2 MCEU films. Apparently, why is it that the more we see Hulk in the MCU films, the less he actually does? You ever notice that in the MCU films, the more we saw of Hulk did less and less and less as the series went on, as all the Avengers films went on. He did the most in Avengers, he did the most in Incredible Hulk, Avengers, and Avengers Age of Ultron. But the last we see of him, like in Thor Ragnarok, and then Endgame, and then Infinity War, well, Ragnarok, Infinity War, and then Endgame, he did less and less, and it became less of Hulk and more of Banner. So I don't know if Disney ran out of ideas of what to do with the Hulk. Should be impossible. It's the Hulk. You can do whatever. But I just feel like Hulk did an injustice in the MCU films. Everyone got character development, but what did the Hulk get? Nothing. He got shut off in the mind of Banner because now Banner's in control of the Hulk body. I really wish Insomniac could have injected their amazing traversal system in this game, like, for real. Seriously, Skrillex. Oh my goodness. Like, look for this. Look at this, for example. This is the best example of traversal for characters because it is flat, even ground, so you can properly see just how they stack up height-wise. So, my family's calling me. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Looking at this. Too bad I can't fix the camera. Look at this! I used to think that the jump distance was substantial. Okay, so this is me just running and jumping.
This team will not be easy to neutralize.
I'm trying to hold the stick down and hold the camera down so you guys can see and it be at a fixed position. Like, sure, you have swing on telephone poles, but it's the Hulk. He shouldn't be using telephone poles to swing off of. But now, I don't know if holding down the X button... Jarvis, if you don't stop interrupting me to telling me what to do, I ain't on no time limit. Stop interrupting, Jarvis. That's one thing they need to scale back. The amount of times that Jarvis reminds you that you have a mission to do. See, I used to, at the beginning I was thinking, well, this is fun to jump as Hulk, but the more I look at it, the more disappointing it really is. Because,
your presence. Be on your guard.
Okay, so here, all the way to here. That's the distance of Hulk's jumps. It is not really far when you, in retrospect. Because he can jump from here, and he can jump from here. It's not really that much of a difference, and it's already disappearing from the ground. But I just feel, and here's the thing. They said that they took inspiration from Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. So you would think that they would take one of the key things that made getting around as a Hulk, maybe you have to run more? Okay, so let's see how much of a distance we clear if we sprint. Alright, so here's a step here. And here's a step here. And then there's a step there. So from this car to, well, a spot right here before it disappeared. See, I feel like sprinting shouldn't be the main way. It just feels like Hulk's jumping distance and height are smaller than what you would expect him to have in a map this size. Because the skybox, which is the height limit of where you can go. Hold on, let me climb up a building and show you. That's not where I wanted to go. Oh, chest. The skybox is actually pretty lenient in how far up a wall you can go. Like, I'm just looking at Hulk as a whole, and I feel like his movement, it needs to be improved. His jumping needs to be improved. His sprinting, it's okay, but that's not the main method people are going to be getting around. And though it looks like it's far and it's fast, just remember that in the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, you could clear an entire city block with chain jumps. Just one jump. If you were charging and you maxed it out, you could clear an entire city block just by jumping from, like you see this intersection right here? You can go from one intersection to an entire intersection all the way down the road where the next set of, traffic lights are in a single jump with Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. But here, and they say that they took inspiration from it, you can't even jump that far. Now, I'm making all these complaints, I'm saying all this, and we don't even know what the secondary skills or whether we can upgrade his traversal skills or not. But I feel like in order for us to make us truly feel like a Hulk in this game, that is in this next gen game, that is supposed to be the first game on the PS4 and PS5 that's going to let you play as a next gen Hulk, they need to go all out and make sure that we feel as the Hulk, whether we're fighting, whether we're traveling. I'm not asking that we jump 3 whole miles in a single bound. I'm just asking that you give us just a little bit more in terms of making us feel powerful. I don't know, maybe tie in the length of which you jump to the amount of rage that you have. If your rage is high, then your jumps will be far. But if they're not, then they're going to be short. Or just make it so that it's just a basic move overalls, because you're not going to be fighting all the time. So some of us will actually like to have high traversal skills. Like, go into these. The amount of seconds that you spend in the air as Hulk is too short. But when you get on these platforms, you get a sense of the height that maybe you should have. See, I would love for the height to be that, but still traveling at a very fast speed. Hulk, your legs okay? But I would love to travel at a very fast speed with this amount of height. Like, at least let me come up to right here. Let our jump height come up to right here. And let our jump speed, let it be faster. But that's just me. Let me move on with the mission because I'll keep talking about this all day. And it feels like they actually
special resources nearby.
It feels like they're actually pushing him back whenever he descends in the air. Sorry if I sound like I'm griping on this a little bit. And I am griping on it because I feel like there's so many things that they can greatly improve on.
Resistance ally is in trouble nearby and needs your help.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Hulk is bad. Just some aspects of his combat could be greatly improved. Now, mind you, this is only coming from information that we know from his primary skills. We have no idea what his secondary or ultimates are, so just take what I'm saying as a grain of salt, but there's still room for improvement for them overall. But I know Hulk is going to be my main. I'm just hoping that they take this feedback. They may not even find this video because, you know, there's a lot of other YouTubers out there with bigger names than me, and they pay attention to the people with the big names first. So hopefully these other YouTubers have some of my same thoughts in mind. So if, you know, the dev team kind of listens to the big name tubers, they can at least acknowledge that, hey, there's some things that can greatly be improved. Whoa. But hey, Thomas Peterman, how am I enjoying it? There's room for improvement. There's definite room for improvement. They should improve the Hulk and his jumping capabilities because they feel like look at this jump. It's not good. It's not all that good. But then again, this is just what we're seeing in the beta. We have no idea if there's any limits to that.
There is a chest with gear close by.
So for all I know, I could be complaining about something that isn't even fully upgraded yet. But I won't deny that I am enjoying myself. And that's another thing. That frame rate drops you're seeing, that's not me, that's the game. That's another thing they got to improve on as well. Optimizing. Optimize this game so, because there's a lot of screen shaking, then there's a lot of frame rate drops when there's a whole bunch going on. And I feel like frame rate should be the one thing you absolutely perfect before anything else. Don't think I've friended you on PSN, which I kind of wanted to do so we can run some multiplayer matches when this officially launches. Hey, my PlayStation name is the same as my YouTube name. So I'm looking for people to, you know, try and test this out when this game launches in September as well. What does that sound? Is that someone shooting? Well, this game died with the Spider-Man crap they pulled. I wouldn't say it died. It just divided a lot of people. It's too soon to say this game died and it hasn't even released yet. Even with the beta out. It's too soon. Dibs on Black Widow? You can have Black Widow. Hulk's gonna be my main. I just hope that by the time this game releases, they listen to feedback and allow us to do things that, for me at least. Hey, to each their own, Thomas. I'm not saying that your opinion on the game is wrong or anything. You are free to... This game, obviously, especially with the way it is now, it is not for everyone. And with some certain things that they've done to the game, such as, you know, lock out Spider-Man, I'm PlayStation all the way. But even I can see that the idea of making it so that you restrict characters to a specific console, that is not a good idea. You had more than favorable opinions of your game before you announced that, and now that you say that, hey, Spider-Man is coming only to the PlayStation, that's not a good look. It really isn't a good look, and I feel sorry for everyone. And I feel sorry for anyone who doesn't have a PlayStation or play on Xbox or play on PC. I'm sorry that you guys have to suffer this injustice, because this is what it is. You should not be restricting characters to one specific console exclusive. I thought we were done with console exclusive characters in video games. I thought we were done with that. Last time we had that was way back in what? Soul Calibur? Way back on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 with like Vader and Yoda. I thought we were done with exclusive console characters. So the whole thing about Spider-Man being exclusive it's a bad idea. It's out in 4 weeks, not a lot going to change. It's too soon to say that, but we'll have to see. But that's just my opinion. Honestly, they could just get a PS5. New consoles are coming out anyway, so if they really want to play Spidey, then they should get a PS5. Okay, so I'm getting a PS5, but not everyone wants to play on PlayStation. Not everyone is a fan of PlayStation. I'm a massive fan of PlayStation, but not everyone is going to get a whole brand new $400, $500 console just to get access to one character. So even though that's an option, it is not the best option. I feel like the best option would just be to make it available to everyone. That's just my opinion. I feel like you shouldn't have to buy a new console to enjoy something that should be available from everyone from the get-go. See? How am I getting staggered by people half my size? I hope there's a passive skill that makes it so that Hulk is less likely to get staggered while fighting or while attacking, because that's something he desperately needs. Oh, I was gonna say now's the time for those who want to make the decision while they can. To each their own.
We did good, didn't we?
Okay, it wouldn't let me move for a quick second there. Like, I literally couldn't move. Also, if you guys have noticed, the color of your light on your PlayStation controller changes depending on the person you're playing as. It's green for Hulk, red for Black Widow, orange for, I think, either blue for Kamala, and then yellow or orange for Iron Man. So it changes colors depending on the person you're playing as. Just a very minor thing. But I really we just gotta hope and pray at this point. That's all we gotta do is just hope and pray. Am I expecting this game to be a masterpiece? No, absolutely not. After playing Ghost of Tsushima, after playing Spider-Man, and looking forward to Spider-Man Miles Morales, I don't know if this is going to be the it game that puts Marvel games on the map. I would like for it to be, but there are still a lot of things that they need to improve on before this becomes the it game that everyone can say, like, hey, that's the game I'm going to get. Xbox fans didn't get to experience Spider-Man PS4 either, so I mean, not the first time they got screwed by Sony's exclusive. I agree that exclusive is dumb, but that's just how it is with Sony. Yeah, Sony is not good. Like, as much as I like their games, they could do better with making stuff a little bit more inclusive for people who only want to play as one character. Like, they have a lot of exclusives. We cannot deny that they have access to a lot of exclusives. Whereas Xbox has access to a lot of exclusives as well. I still wish for the day where I could play Sunset Overdrive, but it's not going to happen. Even though the game is made by Insomniac, and now Insomniac is owned by Sony. So it's a lot of give and take when it comes to certain developers and certain games and certain consoles and certain companies. Unfortunately. I just wish that we all could just get along. Xbox players, PC players, and PlayStation players.
Every member of the elite team must be defeated.
Act like cattle, you get the prod.
And these guys are annoying. And you see that? They'll stagger you every time. I hate that. No internet connection. Connection to the server has been lost. Okay. See? That happens all the time. Literally all the time. And that happens, and that's exactly what happened when I was in that multiplayer match. It just straight up says that connection to the internet is lost. So good luck on your own, buddy. That's exactly what it did. Well, Horizon Zero Dawn just came to PC, so there's hope. Yes, there is hope. There is hope. I probably should have spec'd all the way into Rage. See? Now, there's no move for Hulk to brace himself. Can Hulk crash a meteor in this game as his ult? You can pick up like a giant chunk of debris, but the game only lets you get to level 15, so it doesn't even let you get access to all the skills. So being able to pick up a large chunk of debris is not something I can currently do with Hulk at this time.
Another enemy defeated.
Like, all I can do is just pick up this piece.
The team are no longer a threat.
And I find it odd how me using this piece and not hitting nothing destroys that piece. I'm not hitting anything. So you can use this chunk of debris as a melee weapon, but it destroys itself on the very first hit. Like, I'm not even hitting anything and it's gone. In many games, his ult move, he jumps into space and then crashes a meteor to Earth. Isn't that in Marvel vs. Capcom 3? I think that's one of his level 3 super? I think that's one of his moves. But if I go over to skills right here, where is it? Here it is. Meteor. Well, it's actually called Meteor. His skill is actually called Meteor. Pick up a giant two-handed piece of debris and you can throw it. Or you can just use it and then just use it as a full-on weapon and just spin it around. Still don't like how it just crumbles away on you. I wonder if you can throw it while you're in the air and bring it down like a meteor. Maybe there's a way you can do that in his secondary skills. I don't know. Because from what you see here, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the skills. We need to see more. We need to see more skills. I don't know if it's going to happen because of leaks. You know how leaks are. There's always leaks. So hopefully we get to see more of them. I'm not opposed to seeing any leaks of skills, so that way I can find out what all we have for Hulk. They better have an upgrade for his jumping skill, because I'm severely disappointed by that. What is that? I wonder if the Joe Fixit and World War Hulk have different voices, as well as other differences between Savage Hulk and the other Hulk variants. Not really. It's just skins. because they use the Joe Fixit skill, and I highly doubt it's going to be the same way it was for like Hulk Ultimate Destruction, where using the Joe Fixit skin gave you like a whole different voice, like engaging rocket thrusters or something.
Theo, work your magic.
You're safe now.
Curfew!
And see, I was being blocked from even using that move and barreling through everyone. Because some aspects of the stages or, you know, character bodies, when they're dead, it causes collision. Like, unnecessary collision, to be quite honest. This jump is now disappointing to me now. And I gave myself the hiccups. Great. And you know what? Cars do not respond to the Hulk jumping on them. Not even a dent.
That was all of them for the time being.
But they'll respond to a point. They'll respond to a punch, though. I can't even destroy the desk. Something that should be destructible aren't. Lobster fan, can't wait when I get it. Yeah, I'm getting it too, but they still need to fine-tune the game, and they say this is going to be an evolving game, ever expanding. They're going to be building upon this game past this game's launch as the years go on. They need to make sure that out of all the updates that they give this game, they need to make sure that matchmaking always works. And they need to make sure that the frame rate is always smooth. Now, I can't count on this all the time, and I don't know how it's going to be when the PS5 hits and people who get the game now upgrade to the PlayStation 5. I myself am getting the PS5, so more than likely I'm going to see that upgrade and, you know, see just how different it is. I don't know if it's going to be for free. Oh, it is. It's going to be a free upgrade. If you get Marvel Avengers on the PS4, or as far as PlayStation said, if you get the Marvel Avengers on PS4, then you can upgrade it for free on the PS5. Same goes for certain other games if you get it on the PS4 as well, like Cyberpunk. You get to upgrade that for free. See? There should be a move where I am completely resistant to oncoming damage, so I can just barrel through attacks. So the next beta is going to be this upcoming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they have until then to try and mess with the beta a little bit, buff some things. It's on Steam as well, my guy. Well, we don't need to worry about Steam getting an upgrade because it's Steam PC. PC can pretty much run everything top tier without much problems. Unlike consoles, you can constantly upgrade a PC to a certain degree. And Steam is going to be on beta on Friday. Right, I forgot. PC and Xbox get access to the open beta that's going to be this Friday as well. So if anything, they better make sure that it is stable for Xbox users and PC users as well.
So I can get you inside the lab.
Jarvis, if you don't stop trying to remind me of something I already know! See, the person's dead. That person's dead. I don't know why you're rolling around on the ground for. You're dead. You are dead. Not big surprise. But there's some switches in here. Let's go ahead and mess with them. There's one here. And there's another one somewhere there. Do you need to have a pre-order for the beta? Not for PC and Xbox. Those are open. You only had to pre-order if you were trying to get the beta first, and that was only exclusive for PlayStation. So this beta here, it's only exclusive for PlayStation, and you had to pre-order in order to get in it. But for the next 2 betas for this week and the week after, those are open betas for everybody. You don't need to pre-order. Because trust me, I would have looked into it and made sure that it wasn't restricting y'all in any kind of way because of that. Okay, so the switch is reset. I need to find the other switch. That other switch is around here somewhere. Oh, was it right here the whole time? Yeah, it was right there the whole time. I didn't notice. Alright, we're open. Get inside this chest here. I only managed to get like 1 legendary piece of gear during my entire time playing this beta. And we got a comic, which is nice. Collecting comics gives you like subtle stat increases that are permanent. And I got a new chest piece. I need to be checking to make sure because for this beta, you only can get up to level 15. So choose your skills carefully, especially ones you want to showcase. Because it only lets you get up to level 15 and power level 45. Now, of course, in the regular game, you can get to a much higher level because we've seen gear pieces that reach up to like 130. So, there's that. And this is weaker than the chest piece that I'm using. It gives me bonus defense. Well, on their webpage, it says the open beta for all will only be on August 21st. Huh. So I guess it's only like... So you shouldn't have to wait a minute. You shouldn't have to pre-order just to get into the the rest of these betas. It opens it up for like PC and Xbox. It better not mean that PC and Xbox pre-orders. I really hope that's not what it means because from my understanding, I thought it was supposed to be open for everybody. If that's what they mean, that's backwards. That's not right. And I still don't have enough to actually upgrade his gauntlet so he can actually do more damage. No, on August 14th, pre-order only, and then 21st open from all the way I read. Okay, so I've misread it this entire time. My apologies for the misinformation. Pre-order only for the first week for PlayStation. Pre-order only for the second week for PC and Xbox. Then the last week is open beta for everyone. Am I correct in saying that? Because if that's the case, then I've been severely wrong, and I deeply apologize for all of you and getting your hopes up. The way I understand it, yes. Okay, so I feel like that's the angle they're going with as well. Alright, thank you, Thomas, for correcting me. Because I would have kept feeding you guys wrong information this entire time had you not, you know, corrected me on that. Because for the longest time... For the longest time, I was thinking that it was going to be open for everyone for the next 2 weeks. But I guess not. How do you give me the ability? Huh? How am I hitting you through the door? I shouldn't even be able to touch you. I should not even be able to do any damage to them through the door. Yet I am somehow.
AIM's network is equipped with a multi-point authentication system. I need access to
That's a
multiple
bug.
terminals.
Yeah, it's a
The more
bug.
the better.
You want to know what else is a little bit of a glitch and a bug? Sometimes when Iron Man uses his lasers will still be shooting off in different directions when he's done using it. Here's a mission that I feel is best played with actual people. Defense missions. And like if you played Warframe, then you know this to be like interception missions. hold a set point for a key amount of time until the meter fills up.
Their shutdown protocol.
They did have shockwaves effects, but those attacks should not be going through a door that you can only open, and that through doors that are like transition doors.
Beginning infiltration.
No, you don't.
AIM has initiated their shutdown protocol.
Now, mind you, this isn't really all that difficult playing by yourself, but if it's on like a harder difficulty, and you got like a whole bunch of enemies, yeah, it can get kind of tricky trying to solo this on your own. This is why this is one of those missions that is best played with actual people. Okay, we gotta get control back.
That helps.
How did I miss?
AIM has initiated their shutdown protocol. I'm inside AIM security system. That helps, thank you.
We got this in the bag, but it probably will go a lot faster if you have like people at certain points keeping everyone else from getting inside.
Beginning infiltration. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Can you order your team around? Nope. You can't tell them to do certain things, because here's the thing. Another thing is you'll come across maps where there are certain levers and certain things that you can only interact with if you're a certain character, and you can't order any of your teammates to do it, nor can you have your teammates get close to it so they can do it on their own. You have to be as that character in order to activate certain switches. I couldn't get a chest in one of the Sabotage missions because it required someone like Iron Man to open it, and I was playing as a whole. I was completely locked out of opening that entire door up. So that's something that they also need to add on as well, like the ability for your allies to do things that you can't while you're in the middle of a stage. So that was a bit of a downer, not being able to activate switches just because I wasn't playing a certain character. Though it does encourage you to play as another character, not everyone wants to play through the same stage just to get something that they missed on the first go around. Unless it's like a collectible that absolutely you have to have. You should at least have the ability to order your partners that can use certain switches or do certain things to, you know, do them.
Help them. There are the agents. Help them defeat AIM.
Now the upgrade system for like your gear and weapons, this is only like a small smidgen of what we can do, because if you go to like the helicarrier, there are certain areas that you can get access to, but there's like the science area, which I know for a fact is probably going to play a part in us upgrading weapons, creating gear and stuff like that, stuff for your character. But there's a technology lab as well that's completely closed off that I feel... Actually, let me see if I can use this thunderclap on all these guys. Let me aggro all of them. Draw them in close. Alright, that was a good host of them. I'm trying to get Hulk's overcharge. Trying to get his rage maxed out so it can be overcharged, because that's when I start to do a little bit more damage. And there's a skill that lets me do even more damage. But when I get hit, they start to drain my rage, and it keeps me from getting that maximum amount of rage that I want to get. And the fact that I get knocked around so easily. Like, I feel like the higher your defense rating is, the less likely you should be getting staggered. And I hate these elite synthoids. They dodge you like you're like they're an agent from the Matrix.
Wanna see all my weapons? Okay.
Like, I'm not a real big fan of seeing Hulk get tripped up so easily like this.
The agents are safe. Sending them pickup coordinates so they...
I did not count on that being the last hit I do. That was pretty smooth looking, I will admit. Man, this does not look Hulk-like. Like, Hulk getting thrashed around by smaller robots than him, no, it is not Hulk-like. I can only hope that this is chalked up to... And we got a new nameplate. Okay. I'm hoping that I'm chalking this up to... This is just Hulk at his lowest level. I want to say that when we max out Hulk, which I'm going to do, he's probably going to be the first character I max out when the game releases. When I max him out, I'm able to run through these areas with barely any way to get staggered. There better be a skill. There better be a skill in this game when it fully releases. So does Hulk and Iron Man feel the same at the tripping? When Iron Man gets knocked back, it's like everyone gets knocked back. Everyone gets knocked back the same. They all suffer the same recovery and whatnot. It just feels, to me, like certain characters, like Hulk and people who should have more defense, should be getting staggered less. That's just my opinion on it. And you know what? The beta does not cease until tonight, so let's play as someone else. I play as Hulk all the time, so... And you won't let me play as Widow. Why? No one is playing as Widow. I don't have matchmaking on. That's another thing. That is another serious thing. When you run into an error for matchmaking, sometimes it'll completely trip you up, boot you out of the session you're in, and bring you back to the main menu. And the characters that joined your session, those are the characters that the game will lock out for you when you come back. So if you was playing as Hulk, and then you had two other people come in and play as, like, Kamala Khan and Iron Man, when that game glitches out and boots you back... Sorry, there's an eyelash in my eye. When that game boots up and brings you back to the main menu, you come back and you try to play again, those characters are locked out. So, obviously, the last time I played with somebody, and... which was that Titan mission that I was talking about earlier... And then it booted them out because it says I lost the connection, which I didn't because I was still playing the game. That person was playing as Black Widow. Since they got kicked out, I can't play as them unless I go into the game. Unless I enable matchmaking. disable, or just plain go to the main menu. So that's something that they need to fix. They need to fix matchmaking glitching out the game, locking you out of characters. They need to fix it so that matchmaking does not take 5 whole hours in order to set you up with people. They need to fix Hulk's jumping and his survivability. That's pretty much the also frame rate and optimization. Those are the 5 big things for this beta. If you wanted a too long didn't read review of this, the frame rate and optimization for this game needs to improve. Hulk's survivability and his ability to get around, such as charge jumps or anything to make his jumps, his little bunny hops, improve on those, and improve his survivability so he's not, you know, getting KO'd and tripped up by every single fodder enemy that runs around and decides that, you know what, I'm gonna wind up and punch the Hulk in the side. What? I tripped the Hulk? But I'm a robot! That makes no sense! Exactly. So, hopefully they remedy that a little bit, so it's less... Hulk feels more like Hulk, and less like the Amazing Bulk. You guys know that movie. That horrible, horrible movie. I'm surprised. There's music during these loading screens, but it starts out real quiet at the beginning, so you really can't pay attention. Also, I kind of was hoping that they make Hulk's hair just a little bit greener, but that's just a side thing. That's not even really important. That's just a character design thing. Just I feel like his hair should be just a tad bit darker. But like I said, minor thing. Black Widow, Iron Man, and Kamala Khan, they play alright. Actually, I like playing them because they feel a little bit more natural. No Thor in the demo, right? Nope. No Thor, no Captain America. Which I feel like they're not going to do anything more for Captain America until we play through the game and find out what actually happens to him. So what we are going to do... We are going to choose... quick sabotage mission. I don't like control zones. I just like getting in, destroy stuff, and get out. So... let's choose this one. Make sure matchmaking is not on, because otherwise we're going to be stuck at the lobby all day. And we're going to change to... I'm still locked out of Black Widow. Even though I exited all the way to the main menu, I'm still locked out as Black Widow. How does that even work? Okay, you know what? I got an idea. I'm still trying to remember the workaround that I found out in order to make it work, so I can get access to all characters. So, search for people. Alright, I had to... hold on. Okay, there we go. Alright, I had to make my party private a little bit. Hopefully they can't hear me. But you guys see right here, we already had people in, and it said the mission was counting down and starting, and the game's not starting. The game is not starting whatsoever. It just counted down all the way. And what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? The amount of people that we need in order to start this mission, the amount of people that it says that I can have, I can't even select the option. I can't even select the option. So now, since I joined the fire team and exited out of it, I now have access to Black Widow. Good Lord. They need to fix that. They really do need to fix that. If they say they're going to evolve this game, they need to put every single ounce of strength into making sure that this game runs absolutely smoothly. Because that's a problem. Let me disable matchmaking so we ain't got to worry about that. And now we can do this. See, there's some problems here. There are some definite problems, which I hope that they remedy and fix. Now, mind you, Widow doesn't have like a lot of strong stuff on her, so I may not do as much damage as I have been with Hulk. So there's that. And also, here's another thing that's been popping up lately. Actually, hold on. Oh, is there new things on the summer sale? Sorry, I got a friend request. Skrillex, is this you? Man, your power level went to 9,999. See, it says traveling to destination. It's taking a while. There we go. I was wondering why it was taking so long. It's not like we're waiting on anybody.
Avengers. Our agents in the field have identified the location of an AIM data vault. The vault contains research on new combat synthoids and needs to be destroyed. Get in there, take out the server vaults, and get out before AIM reinforces the facility.
So my thing is...
AIM has a set of turbines powering one of their emergency generators. Disable them.
So we got higher pieces of gear for Widow. And we got points that we can put in here. So one of her skills is Power Line, a movement ability upgrade. This is what makes me hopeful that they have actual upgrades for the Hulk. Because her ability to move around is her Widow's line. It's basically her zip line. And she has an upgrade for that. Which is why I'm hoping that Hulk has an upgrade for his jumping ability, even though it is not it's not like a ability that you have to unlock, or it's not like something that's over here in this area. But I just really hope that they have upgrades for him, so, you know, he doesn't seem so gimped in his jumping. So what I'm going to do is, let me see. I did say I was going to get, like, her full auto, so we need to get Bullet Storm. We need to level up, and then I'll get her high caliber shot and her full auto shot as well.
Take him out! This should be interesting.
And she can jump while she's shooting as well. And I feel like she becomes very floaty when she jumps. Everybody beating on him. Got some new gloves. We're just gonna get in, mess around a little bit, get out. There's not really much more I can say about this game that I haven't said already, so I'll just mess around with Iron Man
AIM has sent forces to stop you.
and Kamala Khan, and then I'll probably call it a session. Because this review doesn't need to be too long, because there's not too much that you can do at the moment aside from, you know, level up people. But even then, it probably won't amount to too much today because the beta ends for the first week, and I don't know if my progress will stay for the next beta. But Black Widow's combat feels a lot better. Woo! Whoa, where did you come from, big boy? Her ultimate is pretty good though. Got good range. And if you keep attacking, after it's ended, you still have the staff out, but I don't think it actually adds to your overall damage. So you can actually dodge those so-called unblockable attacks.
Excellent. Turbine destroyed.
Okay, that was a thing.
Nicely done, Avengers. You
So we got a
reached some impressive
piece of
progress,
black
and
ISO.
now AIM is scrambling to recover their lost research. More attacks like this, and AIM won't stay in power long.
Alright, we got some gear for it, and we got a level up. I did say we were going to get full auto. I need to be level 6 in order to get high caliber shot. So let's get full auto. Then look at the gear she has. Upgrade it. We'll probably run through that sabotage again because it is very quick to get through. But like I said, even at the end of the day, it probably won't matter since the beta is going to end today. It doesn't give us much of a... Stuff we get is not that much better, to be honest. Now, let me see if I got enough of the comics yet. Hey, we finally got a full set for the Generations. Collect duplicate issues to increase stat bonuses. Okay. So not only can you get a full set that gives you like this list of increases, but you can keep collecting the same boosts that will increase the tier of the comics you get. That also increases the perks that you get with it. Because with this generation set, you get a heroic charge rate, willpower recovery effectiveness, max willpower, perk chance, and critical chance. So the more you collect these same comic books, it's randomized what type of comic you get. But the more you collect these, their stats, their individual stats increases, which in turn level up the stat bonuses you get. And since these are passive, so these are active at all times. So you don't even need to have the full collection to get access to the perks, because you got critical chance, heroic charge rate. This whole thing is almost maxed out. You get status resistance, critical chance, stun, status, meter damage, max willpower, willpower recovery effectiveness. You get... What's new? There's not much new. Armor, critical damage, heroic damage, and effectiveness. That's good. I have a feeling that with these comics that we have right now, it's just a small amount of what we can get overall. We're more than likely going to get a lot more. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But now that we're here, let's go ahead and choose Iron Man, run through the Sabotage again, because Sabotage is a lot more fun because it's quick to get through. It only takes like a couple of minutes. It's not long. You can just breeze through it. Good way to make videos and content if you're a YouTuber. Just breeze through it and be done with it. And I keep hitting the wrong thing to select the next mission. I don't know why I keep opening this same thing up. Sabotage missions are my favorite type of missions. Alright, go with Iron Man. I got lasers and I got rockets, so we're going to test those out a little bit. See if I can get some more skills for them. And see where we go from there. So I honestly don't know if the save data we have will save over to the next beta that happens. Like all the progress I made in this beta is going to carry over to the one that's upcoming, or the one that's going to be free for all for everyone at the end of near the end of this month. That still remains to be seen. Family bought me food, so I'm just making sure that I go ahead and knock this out so that way I can eat. There's nothing worse than cold food when it's brought to you. But we're good here. We don't really need to mess with much. Iron Man controls alright. His flight, it reminds me a lot of Anthem's as far as flying around is concerned.
Data vault. The vault contains research on new combat synthoids.
But his overall combat, it's alright. I know there's ways that we can improve on it. His running and walking animations. Not what I would expect for someone in a suit of armor to actually run. He runs very sluggishly and very, like the way he's walking, that is the most heroic he moves throughout the game. just him walking in this intro. That's
AIM
how
has a set of
he looks.
turbines
Like
powering one of
like
their
this is his
emergency
walking
generators.
animation.
Disable them.
He walks like someone who doesn't have an arc reactor, and he's moving very, very slow.
Someone keep it score here, cause I gotta be winning.
And since Nolan North is voicing Iron Man, all his quips just reminds me of Deadpool. I'm sorry, but Nolan North is Deadpool. I can't hear him as any other Marvel characters. But it is nice that all you need to do in order to change your position is just to use the right stick. So you can switch from your repulsors, which is this, to your rockets, which is this. That's my family. My sister's always messing with me. But Iron Man, you have his repulsors, you have his rockets. And that uses up intrinsic energy, and you have his lasers. Now, I'm going to wait for it to charge up all the way. You get amped up when you use his overcharge. So standing here, waiting for your energy to regain. It'd be nice if there's like subtle animations to let you know that, hey, you ran out of energy. Wow, my camera was tilted this entire time. Sorry, everybody. It'd be nice if it'll have like subtle animations to let you know that, hey, you ran out of energy, so Iron Man's gonna... Like, I feel like he sways a little bit too much while he's walking. And then when he's running, it feels like I know he's in a suit of armor, but I feel like he should be moving not someone who's overburdened by the armor he's wearing, but it's actually empowering for him for him to run in. Here it looks like he ran out of stamina and he's running around. That's just how I feel like he's moving.
Destroy the turbines.
But that's just my opinion on Iron Man and his walking animations. His attacks and whatever, I may need to level them up a little bit more so I can have more intrinsic energy reserves so I can use his attacks more. And if you pop up on enemies before they notice you, you can actually get like a takedown on them beforehand.
Enjoy your commemorative Iron Man bruises. You're welcome.
That turbine is finished. Well done.
See, when I overcharge here, I can constantly use... Oh, wow, I never noticed that I could constantly use my moves for as long as my reserves last. Does the electric trap charge your energy? You know what? That's actually a good thing to test. standing in it. Let me see how I charge when I'm not doing something. The charge rate seems a little bit the same when I'm not standing in it. No, it doesn't charge. It doesn't charge. The charge rate is the exact same standing in it than it is without. So that's one thing that they could have given you access to. Like, now shock damage can charge your intrinsic energy rather than drain your health outright. Though it may, or they can make it so that it drains your health a little bit, but it also has the added effect of adding to your intrinsic meter. That, I feel, would be nice if they added it that way.
Try this on for size.
Hello, pal.
Whoa, what hit me? Level 4. Alright, so let's see if we can upgrade real quick, let's see if we can upgrade a skill for his lasers. So we have Energy Lance. We have Rockets, Smart Rockets, where you can lock onto people, Whirling Tempest. You know what? Let's get this. He uses some intrinsic energy, but it's not like a massive amount. Wait, can I use this in the air? Nope, it's only on the ground. And the fact that your attacks can be imbued with certain elements, like you can have like gamma lasers, cosmic lasers, Pym particle lasers, which allows you to shrink people, and plasma, which does like fire damage. We all know that plasma always does fire damage in video games. So it makes me wonder what other type of elements there are in the games and how they'll synergize with characters. Like with gamma, you're able to imbue people with gamma radiation, and after a set time, if they die from that gamma radiation, their body explodes. Now, whether that can cascade to another character remains to be seen. But I'm really looking forward to seeing just how they'll do for customization, synergy, and optimization for character builds, and how you build your character to be in certain instances. I know I'm asking for a lot, but I very much like this game to be the superhero game that everyone plays. Even though we just got the newly announced Suicide Squad game on how they're going to try and kill the Justice League. I find it funny how we're getting a Justice League. Pop the Ultimate. Oh, right. I almost forgot to do that before this is up.
Bustin' makes me feel good. That's a song. That's a song, everyone. Look it up. Don't worry. Enough for me to go around.
So are those rockets he's shooting? Now the Hulkbuster lasts for as long as your intrinsic meter lasts. Now you can't fly. So that's the trade-off. He shoots the gloves. Oh, okay, so that's what that was. It was him just doing rocket punches. Okay. Alright, forgot this one.
The generator is no longer functional.
So Iron Man's got a lot of good moves on him. his survivability, like his whole melee game and his survivability, I don't feel like I need to micromanage his skills. Actually, the only person I feel like I really need to micromanage in order for him to survive is Hulk, which should be the last person
You wreaked some impressive havoc.
that you
and now AIM
expect
is scrambling to
to
recover
need
lost
to have,
research.
like, micromanage
More attacks like
and
this
watch
and
over
AIM
in
won't
order to
stay
make
in
sure he
power
survives. And I know when they said they made the Hulk for this game, they said they wanted to, like, let's take everything we know about Ultimate Destruction, but let's add some strategy to it. Hulk is not about strategy. It doesn't matter what type of Hulk you bring to the situation. He's always been Hulk, strongest one there is. Nothing can kill him. Seriously, look it up. Hulk cannot die at all. And just smash everything, destroy everything with unlimited strength. What strategy do you need with Hulk? So now that I think about it, I feel like they added strategy to the Hulk in the form of this rage meter, because that's your way that you heal and you do increased damage. So you got to learn, oh, when's the best time to use rage? Oh, I need to heal a little bit. Probably the size makes Hulks get attacked the most. Yeah, and he also has that skill where he smashes the ground and roars, and that aggroes everyone to target him. So I feel like more than anything, if you give Hulk a skill that makes it so that he's targeted by everyone, he should have the most defense out of everyone. Like, bottom line defense, he should have the highest out of it, since he's essentially the tank character of the game. He has a skill that aggroes everyone to target him. Plus, he has a skill that lets him heal and punch, heal when he punches, and does more damage. But I feel like there's still a little bit micromanaging when it comes to making sure that Hulk survives. So, above all else, I find myself losing more health playing Hulk than any other character during this entire beta. That's just me. Sabotage missions are always fun because they're always short. That's all I can ask for, because not everyone has all day to play through it. They said that they have missions on here that can go from anywhere as short as 10 minutes to as long as 2 hours. Not everyone has that. And lastly, Kamala Khan. She has very good moves. She has very good moves. I can't really complain much with Kamala. Like, all of her moves work really well. Back to the Sabotage. So, in retrospect, if I want to give like a final verdict for this beta and give my final review of it, there are some things that the devs really need to improve on if they want to make this the superhero game to play this year. There are some significant things they need to work on, mainly matchmaking, frame rate issues, and optimization so that this game can run as smoothly as possible. Because I could care less if your game looks beautiful if it can't run faster than... if it can't run smoothly. Nothing beautiful in the game will make like the frame rate drops and poor optimization seem worth it. None of that, like, it doesn't matter if your gameplay is good. It doesn't matter if your game is like top-notch in its graphics and anything. None of that matters if the game does not run smoothly and if it doesn't run completely. Matchmaking needs to be fixed. Optimization, frame rate issues, Hulk's jumping needs to be fixed. Hulk needs more survivability. I don't really have much complaints for Iron Man, Kamala Khan, and Black Widow because they seem to work just fine. It's just, oddly enough, Hulk, out of all of them, seems to be the one that doesn't have the necessary skills to survive. Even on easy difficulty, if I get ganged up on by 2 heavies, then it's very easy for Hulk to get KO'd very quickly. I remember getting KO'd multiple times in one single instance because I didn't have enough rage, and I couldn't heal, and I had low health, and I was just constantly getting knocked out, and I feel like Hulk should be the last person getting knocked out easily by anybody. That's just me. Doesn't matter if he's low level, doesn't matter if he has low gear, he should not just be getting staggered constantly, his moves shouldn't be interrupted. There's just certain things about Hulk that you absolutely cannot bypass for the sake of a game. Hulk is a tank. Hulk is basically the Juggernaut, is basically what the Juggernaut wishes he could be. Unlimited in durability, unlimited in strength. I just don't feel that with Hulk right now. It sounds good. especially when I have it going through my sound system here and I hear the booms of the punches and the big roars and the loud noises that come with Hulk, but I just don't feel it in his gameplay, at least not yet. Now, this is going off of the only skills that they've allowed us to play with, which are just the primary tabs. We need to see secondary, and we need to see ultimate. We need to see what other passive skills we can put on our characters, like additional armor to make it so that we can tank more hits, less likely to stagger. There's a bevy of things that can greatly improve the characters of this game, specifically Hulk. Hulk is my one character that I've been meaning to play this entire time this beta has been out, and I feel like they still need to work on him. Sure, we only have until like next month on the 4th, literally the first week into September is when this game is going to be released, and they have from now all the way until then to fine-tune whatever they can with the amount of time they have left in order to at least make it so that the game plays smoothly at launch. That's just me. Man, I feel like the best game for superheroes was still Marvel Heroes. Great power fantasy. Exactly. Marvel Heroes was by far one of the best Marvel games they made. It is sad what happened to Gazillion and the Disney deal, and they just shut it all down. Like, they were gonna, at some point, they were gonna introduce Thanos as a playable character. They added like the MCU suits. They had so many different characters. All the X-Men, Fantastic Four. I think they added Fantastic Four last second due to the Fox deal with Disney. But I think that was when Marvel Heroes was on PC. I don't think they added it in for PlayStation at the time. I can't remember. It was a very long time ago. I know I love playing Venom. Venom and Hulk and Doctor Strange were my favorite characters to play. Marvel Heroes is by far one of the best Marvel games that they ever made. I'm sad that it had to go, and I'm really hoping that with what we get with Marvel Avengers, even though it's not going to be everyone's game, I know for a fact it's not going to be everyone's game. There are far too many variables in this game already that have already put people off. So I don't see this being like Game of the Year or winning any really big rewards unless they go pull out all the stops before this game releases. And for you Xbox and PC players, I really hope that they fine-tune it for you guys so that, you know, the backlash that they're kind of dealing with a little bit due to some exclusivity deals and how the game runs a little bit, I hope it really does not blow up, because we're only hearing complaints from people on PlayStation. We still got people on PC and Xbox this week. So I would not be surprised if we hear even more complaints when it comes out, when it drops for Xbox people as a whole. And then we're going to see just how the servers test against everybody trying to play the game at the exact same time during the final beta week. So that's just my opinion. There's my final verdict. There are still things they need to improve. There are still things they need to improve. Hulk, most of all, optimization, frame rate, and matchmaking, so you can actually play with people and it doesn't cause like game-breaking glitches. Like if you can't play a game with someone and you exit out, and the characters those people tried to play as, you get locked out of it. They need to fix that. That is absolutely a massive game-breaking bug, because if I want to play as Hulk and someone else plays as Hulk, the network connection to your system has been lost. Make sure your Ethernet cable is connected properly. It is never out of my system, so I don't even know what they mean by this. So that's just what I say. Well, we can hope. Marvel Heroes was not great at launch and improved so much over the years, which is why I'm really hoping that Crystal Dynamics stays with this game. Even if it suffers some backlash, I really want them to stick with this game, because No Man's Sky was like one of the worst reviewed games of 2016, and look where it is now. People play it, people like it, and they stuck with it. And the people at Hello Games stuck with the game. Even when people sent them death threats and told them that it was a waste of time, they stuck with it, and they released a lot of good updates. So if Crystal Dynamics can follow that same angle, even before the game comes out, and just constantly improve over what... And this is all just stuff from the beta. This is just stuff they need to improve on the beta. We don't even know how the game's going to run at launch. But this is just a rough idea. And hopefully they take this with a grain of salt. No offense to them whatsoever, but they need to improve. They need to improve a lot of what this beta has shown and make it so that it's, you know, a smooth transition when we start playing the full game when it comes out. I'm still going to play the full game when it comes out, and I'll give my verdict there. I'm going to take it the same way I did The Last of Us Part 2. If the game is good, I'm going to say it's good, and I'm going to acknowledge it. Whether or not it's a good buy or not, that still remains to be seen when I finish the game all the way. But if the game is bad, and it does not do what it needs to in order to make itself a good Marvel game, then I will definitely say so. So here's hoping that they improve and they listen to feedback. That is absolutely paramount. Listen to the players. Please. We're not telling you something is wrong because we don't like the game. We're telling you something is wrong because something is wrong. Please listen to feedback. Avengers team, Avengers dev team, Crystal Dynamics. Please. Please. All that I suggested, I'm not the only one who suggested it, because a lot of people see something wrong with the Hulk as well, specifically his jumping and his survivability. I'm not the only one. So hopefully they'll listen to my feedback and other people's feedbacks as well, especially the YouTubers that, you know, they listen to more than anyone else's and they acknowledge more than anyone else. So hopefully they listen to all of that. But that's all I got for you guys. Did I play as Kamala? No, I did not. I was about to end this stream without even playing as Kamala Khan. I was literally... My bad. Let's go ahead and do this with Kamala. I got her sitting up here and I was about to say, goodbye, everyone. My bad, sorry. But that's all I got to say as far as reviews-wise.
And needs to be destroyed. Get in there, take out the server vaults, and get out.
That's all I got. That sounded like a rant. I'm sorry if I took so long to just get around to saying that, but I just wanted to play through this game as a whole.
AIM has a set of turbines powering one of their emergency generators. Disable them.
And I level up. Sweet. That's exactly what I wanted to see. So with her intrinsic ability, I need to level up one more time in order to get access to the other skills like Whirlwind and Seismic Slam and Shining Will and No Surrender. Reduce intrinsic cost for Whirlwind. Things that reduce the overall cost of me doing moves, those are absolutely necessary. Because you're going to rely on your intrinsic abilities quite a bit. After performing a hammer fist attack, rapidly press triangle while airborne to combo a series of heavy attacks that deal increasing stun damage with each hit. So I want those. She's got quite a bit of distance when it reaches over a long distance. But that's all I got to say as far as this beta as a whole. This is the first week of the beta. It's rough. It's rough. Hopefully they can improve it from here. Hopefully they're improving the game as we speak, and the beta is just what they wanted to get and just what they wanted to show us while we're playing the beta. The beta is just a little bit of what the game has to offer, and they're improving it while these betas are going on. They already got the betas prepared to go out. They're just still working on the game until it comes out. Listening to feedback, improving as they go. That is what I'm hoping they're doing.
That turbine is finished. Well done.
I like her parry skill. Ooh, that's nice. That's very nice. I like that skill. She does very good damage. And she's not even ranked the same as the Hulk, and she does pretty good melee damage overall. She does fantastic damage when she's in Biggin. And the fact that you can juggle people with this move.
Nice work.
Turbine destroyed.
Are those not collectibles? Can I not collect those? What are those? Aren't they supposed to be like a different color? I feel like those robots are supposed to have a hint of yellow on them, but they don't. Oh, and we got some gear over here that I forgot to pick up.
The generator is no longer functional.
Like I said, I ain't got much to say. Iron Man, Black Widow, and Kamala Khan are the best characters of this beta. Hulk, while he's strong, he's
You wreaked some impressive havoc.
I still feel like he's
Now AIM
weak.
is scrambling to recover their lost
He's too
research.
squishy. Hulk should not be
For attacks
squishy.
like this, an AIM will
Everyone
stay in
else, they
power
survive
long.
better than Hulk does. And they don't even have the ability to constantly re-heal themselves all the time. But that's all I got for you guys. I ain't gonna hold you any longer. This has just been my first beta review. I know it's been an hour-long review, just me showing you things and things that they can improve on. But this is just my opinion. Hopefully, we'll see more things that the game has to offer as the days go on, leading up to its release. Still gonna play the game regardless of whether people like it or not, or whether any review scholars come out there, because experience is a better teacher than other people's words, regardless of how true or false it may be. So that's all I got to say about the game as a whole. You guys already heard my review. I'm not going to repeat it because I tend to do that a lot. So that's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed this little review stream for the Marvel Avengers beta of the first week. I can't wait to see you all in my next video. If you're new here for the first time, hope you enjoyed yourself. That's all I got. I'm not asking you to subscribe. I just hope that you enjoyed yourself while you were here. So, hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.